lying wide awake, I can sleep tonight. Staring at the ceiling like a restless child. Cause you run around telling all these lies. You're telling all these lies, boy. You said you needed space, but you're out right now.
Hello my beauties, thank you so much for watching. My name is Pallete. In today's fourth episode of my how to do eyeshadow series for beginners, I'm going to start off by prepping my lid space, and I will be using this LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Fawn. When you're done with blending out your concealer, you should have a base that looks like this. Now, to set my brow bone area and to make sure that everything stays matte throughout the whole day, I will be using my Sorbet Powder to You translucent powder. For today's cut crease look, I will be playing in my Rimmel London Spice Edition palette, and the first shade I'll be picking up is this very darker burnt orange shade right here, and I will be taking it on this detailing pencil brush. We are doing a full cut crease look today, which is why I am starting off the building up of the shade on the innermost part of my eye, then on the outer part.
I'm done picking up your pieces. I'm done healing all your scars. You say we're done, but then next morning you regret what you said.
When doing a full cut crease look, you really want to start swooping your shades from the get-go, just like I did now. And now to diffuse the harsh edges, I will be going in with my Zoeva 231 brush to diffuse the harsh edges of this shade. You really want to buff ever so lightly around the edges. You don't want to go in with a heavy hand, which is why I'm holding my brush at the tail part rather than here. So when you hold your brush further away from the head, that is where you will get a very light blend, which is what you need for this step. And when you're done blending out the shade, you always want to go back in with that shade just to deposit it some more back into the crease to make sure that you still have that initial intensity. And now to diffuse the harsh edges and create a gradient effect, I'm going to go back into the palette and take this lighter burnt orange shade on the small blending brush. Remember to always tap off the excess, and I will pat the shade along the edges of that previous shade before I start blending it out. I will use that same Zoeva 231 brush to buff out the harsh edges in circular motions. And you can always go back in where you feel like here, I feel like there isn't a lot of that orange shade, so I'm going to pack it into place there and immediately buff it out.
You're telling all these lies, boy. You said you needed space, but
and now the last shade I will be picking up to darken up my crease area is this one right here, and I will take it on this very small shader brush. For this step, you always want to use a very thin brush to get into your crease, especially after you've already laid down the base colors of your eyelid. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to almost go in a line, tracing where I laid down that first dark orange shade. I'm really literally picking up as little product as possible, and I'm only taking it on the tips of this brush and almost drawing a line just to carve out my cut crease. Right after that, I'm going to go in with this large shader brush just to diffuse any harsh edges, but also going in very, very lightly with a very light hand. I'm fading it into the previous shades. And now to cut my crease, I will be going in with my Smudge Perfecting Concealer in the shade Soft Beige, and I will mix it in with this LA Girl Pro Primer, which I will rub out at the back of my hand to form a bit of a paste. And the reason why I prefer this method other than just going in with the concealer itself is because this mixture gives me a much thicker paste to work with to cut my crease, and I can apply any shade on top of it and it won't move as easily as if it was just the concealer. And what I like to do is I like to tap off the excess product all over my hand just to make sure that I don't go in with a lot of product at a time. You really want to take your time when doing this full cut crease because it has a lot of curves. And right now I am cutting it smack in the middle of that shade that we just laid down. The safe bet is to always follow the shape of your crease, your natural crease. If you have hooded eyes, you want to cut slightly above your natural crease so that your eye look can show when your eyes are open. I'm going to go into my highlighter quad, and on that same concealer brush, I am going to begin applying both of these two highlighter bombs. I will use my Essence Super Last Deep Black Liner today before I wear my 60 Don Beauty eyelashes.
Having a good time, but when you're feeling lonely, you come back around. You come back around. Oh. I'm done picking up your pieces. I'm done healing all your scars. You say we're done, but then next morning you regret what you said, honey. Here we go again.
Before I wear my falsies, I will go in with my Essence False Lash Mascara just to separate my lashes so that they can melt in well with those falsies.
So tell me where your friends at. 'Cause you got me feeling sorry for yourself. You want me back and tell me that you need my help. All these thoughts are just running wild. You treat me so bad, but then you love me right. I can't get this off my mind, oh. I'm done picking up.
And now to tightline my waterline, you beauties will sometimes see me do this in my other tutorials. That's because I really want to tightline just the waterline and not smudge it on my lower lash line.
Here we go again. You tell me we're just friends. But then you call me feeling sorry for yourself.
And now for my lower lash line smoke, I will go in with that first shade we used in our transition color, and then I will blend it out with this one further down right here.
'Cause you call me feeling sorry for yourself. You want me back and tell me that you need my help.
You want to apply the shade directly underneath that black pencil that we put in our waterline, and you must always be careful not to smudge it because it might end up looking smoky, and that is not the look we are going for today. And then you always want to go in with the blending brush just to diffuse any harsh edges that might be there as well.
Here we go again. You tell me.
So that shade is not as well, the color is not what I expected it to be, so I'm going to go back into the palette. This time I will take this burnt orange shade right here.
Here we go again. So tell me where your friends at. 'Cause you call me feeling sorry for yourself. You want me back and tell me that you need.
Now for my inner corner highlight, I'm going to go back into that highlighter bomb of mine, and this time I will take this one, but a little bit at a time because I don't want it taking away from the boldness of the highlight shade that we already have on our lid space.
I'm lying wide awake. I can sleep tonight. Staring at the.
And just like that, my beauties, we have come to the end of episode 4 of my How to Do Eyeshadows series for beginners. If you missed out on all the other episodes, I will be sure to link them up in the cards up here. And if you want to see a specific look, please leave it in the comment section down below, and I will be sure to get it together for you. And there are only about 3 episodes left, so I really want you guys to tell me what look you want to see. Otherwise, I am just going to go on a whim and create a look for you guys. Thank you so much for watching until this far. It really means a lot to me that you guys are watching my content. But if you haven't already, my darling, please subscribe to my channel and show your girl some love. I will catch up with you beauties again in my next one. Bye. Bye.